I have big updates in the original Junglearium and unfortunately some bad updates in regards to Junglearium 2.0, but more on that in some other video. Now I will see if I can show you this, and if not, don't worry, because I have the recordings that I already made. One was here, but of course now it is not, and the other one was here. Hey, where are you? Where are you hiding? Ah, there it is. Look, I know what you're thinking, just the frog that I have. Yeah, it is the frog, but this is the baby frog. You see how tiny it is? Compare it with an adult. There's an adult frog. And this is the baby. I cannot believe that they are out. And you see here is another adult with more tadpoles on his back. And let me check the other side. Żabki. This one doesn't have tadpoles, but that one over there also with tadpoles. Incredible, this is just incredible. And I'm keeping this bowl filled with water, hoping that eventually I will spot some tadpoles inside, but unfortunately so far no. It looks like they prefer bromeliads for releasing their tadpoles in. But awesome thing. And I have one bad update. This is the Dendrobates auratus. I have two of them, but unfortunately it seems this one is on its last leg. I'm not really sure it is because of the old age. I mean, it must be dead because you see how skinny it is, and I've been feeding them a lot. And if you look at the other Dendrobates, this one looks, oops, sorry, this one looks normally, completely normal, just like all the other phyllobates vittatus or something like that. Just like all of them, but this one getting skinnier and skinnier for some reason. So that is a bit unfortunate. I think that what I will do, if this one dies, I will find someone that keeps Dendrobates auratus and give them this one, and then I'll get some other species, most likely if they are compatible, the blue Dendrobates. I think it's Dendrobates tictorius or something like that. I'm not sure if that's the species, but I have a clip that I recorded in zoo a couple of years ago of that species. They are a bit bigger than Dendrobates auratus, and I think they will look awesome together with these, although I'm not sure if that species is more aggressive or not. I'll need to figure it out before I get them. And one important thing, since they are Dendrobates, they shouldn't be able to reproduce with these. I mean, they shouldn't be able to breed and mix, and that is really important. You don't want to create any hybrids or something like that. By the way, another update. You see this tail over there? Huh? That is a baby. Whoop. Oh, no. Oh, look at it. A baby moaning gecko, which means that they are also reproducing. And a bit bad thing is I really rarely spot the other geckos. Maybe once a month I would see an adult one, so I'm not really sure what is up with that. I sure hope that they are all fine now. What I want to do, something that I said that I will be doing but I wasn't. Let me just take this bromeliad. You know, from one of recent videos, there were tadpoles in this bromeliad, and I recorded them, and I'm really not sure if those babies are these tadpoles. I wouldn't expect that they are growing so fast, but who knows? Since inside there were two tadpoles, one was significantly smaller than the other one. The bigger one could potentially be one of those babies. I cut one plant out of the Junglearium, put leaves on the floor, and then a couple of minutes later I noticed something hopping on the floor, and there was the frog. So it must have been on those leaves. I put it inside of the Junglearium, recorded for a bit, and then I spotted another frog in the same time. Anyhow, let's see what we will get once we get the water out of these bromeliads. Let's see if they are still inside. Nope, but I think I spotted something wiggling inside. I will add more water. Can we go like... Ah, yes, it's here. You see? Here it is, but just one, the smaller one. So obviously the bigger one is now an actual frog, a baby frog, which means that the other one came from some other bromeliad. So there are more bromeliads, and I was feeding these tadpoles with fish food, but since there are more frogs, more baby frogs, it means that they are able to grow without my help. Let me bring this one back inside so it can continue to grow. Look at this. Somehow it managed to stay on the leaf. I'll add more water. Let me help you, little one. There we go. That was funny, right? Now to bring it back on the spot, right there. Also, a few weeks ago I spotted more eggs on the leaf, but they are gone, and I assume that those eggs are now on the back of this frog. There is something dirt on those tadpoles. Oops, sorry, leaf. Leaf is getting in the way, and you can see how they are wiggling. You see? They're wiggling. This is such a cool concept, and such a weird concept, to be honest. To carry your babies that are supposed to be in water on your back. Unfortunately, I don't have a clip, and I didn't manage to spot it again, but I observed one tadpole inside of the leg. Now, I'm not sure if that was on accident, because they are not supposed to be in a body of water of this size, or if it was intentional, but after that I never managed to observe it again. And by the time I grabbed the camera, the tadpole was already gone. Is the baby still there, somewhere around? Hey, baby frog, where are you? Oh, here it is. Tiny, tiny froglet. It is funny how it is tiny and looks the same as an adult. Oh, there's another baby. Now we see. There are two for sure. But if there is more, who knows? Who knows? There are so many spots to hide. Also, look at this. This plant is flowering all the time. And the flowers, at least on the inside, kind of resembles an orchid, but not really. Not really. Check out the carnivore plant, the pitcher plant, huh? Here are the pitchers. Some are bigger, some are smaller. Generally, they are pretty small. I think that there is not enough light down here, so in Junglarium 2.0, if I manage to build it, I'll need to figure something out with them and position them a bit differently. Now, I'm aware that the best success when it comes to breeding those frogs would be to take the tadpoles out. And now, especially once those froglets are out, also it would be a good idea to take them out, keep them in a smaller enclosure so I can feed them more easily. But that is not what is my idea with the Junglarium. What I want with Junglarium, I want a self-sustaining ecosystem. I want to provide food to feed the animals inside, but the rest I want animals to take care by themselves, with as little as possible of interference on my part. So let's do a time jump, because I wanted to check something. As I was recording the past clips, I was thinking, wait a minute, maybe a bit more than a few weeks passed since the video where I showed you the tadpoles, the original ones. So I went to check, and indeed, month and a half passed since then. And there's just no way that the smallest tadpole is the same one that we showed in this video. So therefore I decided to wait a bit to see how quickly they grow, and 10 days passed since the previous clip. And look at this. The tadpole that I already showed you is now definitely bigger. So even in those 10 days it grew, which means that those two frogs could potentially be the two tadpoles that came out of that bromeliad. Although based on their difference in size, I would expect that one baby frog would be significantly, at least noticeably bigger than the other one, and it didn't seem quite like that, so I'm not sure, but this one is definitely a new tadpole. A third tadpole. They are growing faster than I initially thought. Yeah, I just wanted to check that, which is interesting. This also means that potentially I need to continue feeding these tadpoles, which is a bit of a disappointment now, but oh well, what can you do? You see, I return it back to the spot. And this little one is still alive, although still slim, still super slim, and I'm trying to individually feed it, but there is just no improvement, and the frogs are already arriving, checking out if they will get something. No. A bit later, I will feed you guys a bit later. And these millipedes, it is crazy how they are always on top of each other, doing some sexy time, I assume. And also crazy thing is, I thought that this was the size that I added inside, but then I checked some old clips with them in the Junglarium, and I spotted that, man, they are now much bigger. And when I added them to the Junglarium, there were juveniles or babies or whatever, and there are plenty inside. There are two, and check this out, a millipede party. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them here. They are munching on the cat food that I dropped inside. Also, I don't think that I ever mentioned this, but out of this tree stump there is a huge, yes, yeah, we hear you, there is a huge fungi or mushroom or whatever is there, and I destroyed it a couple of times, but it just regrew, so it clearly loves this area for some reason. By the way, another millipede over there. It is crazy how you can always spot them outside, at least one. And look at this, there is summer on the leaf. I assume a morning gecko. Another one, yeah, right there. sorry. And the little frog is still over there. It is funny how they are always staying on the same spot, which should technically mean that the other one should be, yes, crazy, right there. Should we feed them? I think that we should. Great thing is, even though they are tiny, they can still munch on the same size of fruit flies that I give to the adults, which I wasn't sure if it's the case at the start. I thought that I will maybe need to get a smaller species of flightless fruit flies, but nope, they can handle them. Hopefully we will get a chance to see that right now. Up. Oh ho ho ho. Or not this time. The little guy definitely tried, but didn't manage. Maybe that one is a bit bigger or not. I don't know. But I have seen takedowns. Hopefully more luck with this one. Did you already grab something or? Yeah, you see? This one definitely grabbed it. Can you see another takedown? Oof. Now an adult. Oh. Never mind. We can then drop some springtails. Come, little one, come. Yeah, that's good for you, huh? Much easier to grab. Although they are in the same time a smaller meal. But okay, don't you worry, there is a ton of stuff for them to eat. There are springtails inside, there are small isopods, baby isopods, and similar tiny critters, so they always have something to eat. But look at this. What are you doing? How did you get over there? She went on a little bit of expedition. If you remember, when we set up the jungularium and introduced the frogs, frogs were basically everywhere. They had like some sort of territories. One was over there all the time, one was over there all the time. But eventually they spotted that I'm exclusively feeding them down there, and now they're all flocking down there. Food is the priority. Now I also observed something else. Plecos are still here in the lake. There's the male, and yesterday I spotted the female. But I don't think that they will go into Jungularium 2.0 because the lake will be much shallower than this one. By the way, look. Here is one drowned roach. I'll drop it here so the isopods and springtails can eat. Yeah, even though Jungularium is a failure technically, the sustaining the life part of the Jungularium is great. Now when it comes to Jungularium 2.0, when I recorded the last clip, I didn't want to talk about it because the pain was fresh, but now I cooled down and I got the tactic dialed in of what I will do. So let me show you what's the problem. I won't go into any detail, but you see that? That is a crack, and you see that there is no bulkhead. The Jungularium cracked when we were pushing it back to the wall, and then when I pulled it from the wall by myself, I cracked that. But okay, I have the solution to fix both problems, and most likely next video will be the Jungularium 2.0 update. This week, I will go and get the hardened styrofoam for the hardscape. We are going to set that up, and also the door should arrive any day now. Yeah, it is taking way longer than I initially expected, but it is always like that. I always have too optimistic expectations. Yeah. That's it. Don't forget, next expo is in Weinstadt in Germany. In the description you will find a catalog, a link to the catalog. So check out the animals that I can bring, also the enclosures that I can bring. Reserve everything on time and see you there. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, thumbs it up and comment something. If you want to support this channel more, there's a Patreon page. If you are new to this channel, make sure to subscribe. I upload every Monday and sometimes a live stream on Sunday. So see you again really soon. Bye.